Paul addresses exactly how believers can remain faithful living in the middle of the world. He does this in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, our scripture reading, a verse that gives both a warning and a remedy. The warning is that we must not let the world shape us. The remedy is that we must be transformed by the renewal of our minds. Paul's contrast is important. He doesn't merely say, don't do worldly things. He goes deeper than the outward behavior. He says, do not be conformed to the world. The word conform carries the idea of being pressed into a pattern, like a soft material being pushed into a mold until it takes the shape of it. That is how the world works on our hearts and minds. It doesn't always announce itself loudly. It applies pressure through what we watch, what we hear, what we admire, what we fear, and what we want. Over time, if we're not careful, we begin to accept the world's assumptions as normal. We begin to think that being successful means having more, that being happy means worldly pleasures, that the truth can be adjusted, and that sin is harmless. This is why conformity is so dangerous. It usually happens slowly. A believer may not wake up one morning and decide to reject God. Instead, he simply stops guarding his mind. He allows the world's principles to become familiar, and then comfortable, and then reasonable. What once troubled his conscience no longer seems serious. What once seemed clearly wrong begins to look acceptable. What once was measured by Scripture begins to be measured by culture. This is the kind of pressure that Paul warns us against. The world is always trying to train us to see a life without reference to God.